Epoch Sober Living Services is a nonprofit organization that helps those in recovery by supporting them with grants so they can move forward in life. Join us in the next 30 minutes as we meet the co-founders and speak to some of the people that have taken advantage of their services and now are on the road to recovery and living a very fulfilling life. I'm Christy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. I'm here with Rob Graveris and Rose Burnite, and they are the co-founders of Epoch Sober Living Services. They are here to tell us all about their organization and all the strides that they're making to help our residents here in Harford County. Hi, thanks for being with us today.
Hi, Christy. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now, Rob, what is Epoch Sober Living Services?
Epoch Sober Living Services is a nonprofit organization which helps people who are currently in recovery and offers grants.
Where did you come up with the name? Is there a meaning behind it?
By definition, epoch is a moment in time or in someone's life. For example, an addict who's just had enough and hit rock bottom and wants to do better for themselves.
And Rose, when it was founded, how long ago was that? And how did the concept first come about?
Well, actually, in 2019, we started Epoch, but then COVID reared its ugly head, and it kind of held us back. We had the house, we were ready to go. So actually, we got our nonprofit in 2021, and that's when we were in full force.
Rob, both you and Rose have very personal reasons for starting this. What's your story?
We had someone very dear to our heart who passed away from long-term drug abuse, which ended her life at a very early age. My nephew also was involved in drugs since the age of 11, and until recently, at the age of 28, decided to get right on track with his life and do better for himself, and has been, at this point in time, 6 months sober.
Wow. And Rose, I know this hits very close to home for you as well.
Yes, it does. I have a daughter that is adopted, and she has been on drugs for 16 years. And I'm raising her 3 children. I've had them since birth. And the thing is, even though I have all the means in the world to help her, she doesn't want the help. So there's nothing I can do. So maybe I can help someone else, because I can't obviously help her. We do still communicate, but she has no plans of trying to get sober.
Now, Rob, why did you choose to open a nonprofit over a for-profit?
With a nonprofit, you're able to help a lot more people than just, with a for-profit, you're just focused on the bottom line. With a nonprofit, you are able to have a broader reach and assist a lot of people who need anything. For example, grants for school, for tools, for work, money for driver's license, stuff like that. With a for-profit, you're focused mainly on one business, and we just felt like with Rose's involvement in the community and mine, we would have a broader reach to help various companies.
Now, do you work, Rose, strictly with men's sober homes?
Currently, yes, we're doing men sober homes. But we are looking to do women down the road. But with our grants, they are going to be for anyone. We don't, male, female, doesn't matter.
Now, Rob, you help those recovering with grants. How does that process work?
For the criteria, we look for someone who's in recovery for at least being sober for at least a year, being involved in the community, attending meetings, things like that.
Rose, what kind of grants are these?
Well, there are a lot of things that may seem simple to an individual. However, something as simple as paying for your driver's license, getting a tuition for a class, or just needing a vehicle, needing a down payment for a vehicle. That's difficult. So in order for them to go out into society and become a working part of society, they need some funding. and that's what we're looking at. It's not going to be large sums, but stipends to help them along.
Many of these addicts have burnt bridges or ruined relationships with their family. So, like she said, $350 might not seem a lot to someone who has a family, but for someone who has nothing and also has to pay a weekly rent at their sober home, that $350 is a lot of money. So our grant size could be anywhere from $350 to $1,000 or more.
Oh, wow. And what would you say, Rob, is the goal, the main objective of this nonprofit?
The objective is to reach more people and help more people. Epidemic's been going on for many, many, many years now. I personally have a lot of friends that I've lost to addiction, and obviously family members too. So we'd just like to get a broader reach and help as many people as we can.
And Rose, what would you say right now are your biggest needs?
Well, obviously funding. That's always a big problem. In order to do more, we need more cash because currently we're funding mostly everything ourselves, and we're definitely not wealthy. But some of the things that would be helpful, if you have someone that has a vehicle that they're not utilizing, remember we are a nonprofit, so you can use it as a tax deduction. We need something as simple as just throwing this out there, like a card to Subway, so that they have something that they can go and eat. Just different things like that, just simple things. And we also need people to realize that addiction crosses all boundaries. They don't care how rich you are, how poor you are, addiction attacks you.
Now, Rob, tell me about the houses. Are there rules, requirements, regulations?
Yes, coming into the house, they do have to be clean, so they will be tested upon arriving at the house. With the contract, they are required to hold a job. They are required to take monthly testing and also go to daily meetings as well.
Now, also, another thing that I wanted to ask you about is Project Perfectors. Now, that was another company that was tied to this one?
Project Perfectors is a remodeling company, MHI approved, and it's owned by Robert and myself. And it was kind of a eureka moment when we developed the company because we realized that this is a perfect opportunity to help train some of the individuals that are living in the houses and want to find jobs in the construction field. So our contractors that we have will mentor those individuals so that they will have the ability to say that, hey, I've had some work history at such and such. And that is basically what Project Perfectors is doing. But we also at Project Perfectors work with the county, and we have worked with many of the nonprofits to help remodel homes for them, that individuals that don't have a lot of money. And we do things for a lot of senior citizens also.
Rob and Rose, thank you so much. And this is just such a great organization to have right here in Harford County. So thank you for making that possible. And speaking of possible, we know recovery is possible. And coming up next, we're going to speak to some of their clients that are now fully in recovery and are brave enough to share their personal stories. Stay with us. I'm now joined by Kimberly Spriggs, and I'm so happy that you're here with us today. Kimberly, you're here to share your story and how you've overcome addiction, and now you're living a full life. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to be here.
Now, Kimberly, tell me about yourself and how you first got connected with Epoch.
So I heard about Epoch through the community, just through different people. That's how I found out about them. It came at a really good time in my life. I was pregnant with my son, who actually we found out was going to be born with a rare birth defect. So at the time, the place we were living at, the house we were renting in Falston, had a lot of issues. And they told me and my family about an apartment that was going to be coming available, and that they would sort of have for us once my son got out of the hospital. He was born in April 2021. We were in the hospital for 11 months, a very long time, dealing with, his issues and getting him to a really good spot to come home. The house that we were staying at, we wouldn't have been able to bring him home to. because of his health issues and just, for safety and health reasons. So they told us they had an apartment for us and a place to come home to once he got discharged. We were in Philly at the time because he was at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And so they've helped me and my family out a lot with a place to live. And yeah.
Well, I think that they have been instrumental in our community, and you've been sober for so long. So what are some of the other positive things that have taken place in your life?
Besides having my son, I got married. I found someone who is really supportive, despite my past and despite everything that I've been through. So got married, had a son. I've been able to just continue to stay on the right path and been very, very lucky.
Why did you decide to volunteer, and then tell us about this very personal battle?
A lot of people, I feel like, are where I was, and it was a very difficult time in my life when I was, dealing with my addiction. My choice was alcohol, and I just want to help people. I've always wanted to help people, and I do, even though it's difficult, I do like sharing my story.
Well, it does. It really does help people, and Epoch has been instrumental in your recovery. How?
The big thing is making sure that when my son got out of the hospital, we didn't have to worry about a place to stay. That was huge. So that was big. And then just continuing to help in my recovery. Even though it's been a long time for me, I've been sober, and I've gotten on the right path. They're just always there for support, no matter what.
Do you think the services they provide are an asset to our community?
I don't know where we would be without them. So absolutely.
Now, Kimberly, just one last question. How long have you been sober?
I lost track a little bit ago, but it's been more than 10 years. And it took a long time to get to that point. I've had to overcome a lot of stuff personally, mentally, emotionally, all of that. A very long time, and I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. Very brave of you to come and share your story, and you are just a shining example of how recovery is possible.
Thank you.
So coming up next, we're going to hear more about some of the partnerships and how you can get involved in what we can do as a community to help.
My family has known Rob for well over 20 years. And so when he told me he was helping start up the Keaton House, I was just honored and overjoyed. My brother, Keaton, was the most wonderful person. He was hilarious. He told the best stories. We used to call him the baby whisperer because he was so good with babies. He adored his niece and nephew, my two children, and he was so proud to be an uncle and share that with everyone he knew. Unfortunately, life for my brother was very suffocating. And when you're going through something like an addiction, it affects every area of your life, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It enables you to live life to your fullest, and it doesn't allow you to function in life fully. So things that we take for granted, things that we wouldn't bat an eye at, are extra difficult for them. And they really do need extra attention and help. So when I heard about this Keaton House and what it provides for these guys, it touched me and I wanted to help. So what this provides for these guys, and eventually, hopefully, maybe a female house where women can be there, it provides a lot for them. It allows them to have a sense of responsibility, and it is holding them accountable, all kind of while their hands are being held. And what's cool about these houses is they do have a house manager, and they're there to keep them held accountable. But what Epoch is trying to do is really help guide these guys and give them what they need. A lot of times they're trying to hold a job, going to an interview. They need an outfit for that, or they need a way to get to the interview, or maybe they got a job but they need to advance with a class or some sort of program that they need help paying for. Maybe they're in construction and they need a tool or a hard hat or whatever that may be. This is allowing them to have accessibility to those types of things, so they can function. Because you have to remember, these guys, these girls, they're our brothers, they're our sisters, they're our kids, they're our parents, they're our aunts and uncles, and they're needing a lot of extra grace. And I believe that is what the Keaton House does. It gives them a little bit of extra grace. And so I'm hoping and praying that it will be able to continue, and that there would be more that can be opened for these men and women that really need a little bit of help.
Hi, my name's Dylan, and I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery. And I'd just like to say, if you're struggling or feel like your life's not living up to its full potential because you have vices holding you back, things can be different. My life isn't anything like it used to look like 2 years ago. And today I have everything to be thankful for. No matter what life throws at me, whether it be good or bad, I'm better equipped to handle it. You know, the people that are in my life today and I surround myself with are true friends. And I'm very grateful to have them. So, if you are struggling, please get the help you need. Because I too was one of the people that thought I was too special, or this might work for you, but there's no way it would work for me. And I'm so happy that I was wrong, because today I actually have the tools necessary to function in life and actually be something that I thought I could be. There's plenty of 12-step programs. There is, resources like hotlines. I am a big advocate of rehabs. I've been to a few. I'd like to give a special shout out to the Epoch team. Several of their members have actually helped me along the way and helped me get on the road. I'm looking to get into school. We don't think about the time and the peace of mind we take away from our families. It's not just about us. When we're fulfilling our selfish desires in active addiction, there's a negative rippling effect that extends far more than we really comprehend while we're out there. But I do think the contrary is the same, where we try and better our lives and do the right thing. That ripple effect also extends far, far more than we could ever imagine. So, do yourself a favor and get the help today, because you're worth it.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I'm a recovering addict here at Epoch Sober Living. I've been currently a resident here for roughly 6 months, and in that time, I've been able to not only seek, but find and keep a full-time job. I'm a full-time student now. I have a vehicle, and most importantly, it's helped me become a better person. I'm a father still to this day because of this program. I'm a better son, a better nephew, and a better brother. What Epoch Sober Living has done for me is what I couldn't do on my own, and that's basically be myself without the use of drugs or alcohol. And without Epoch Sober Living, I probably wouldn't be alive to this day. When I came to Harford County from Cecil, I didn't know that anything like this was possible out here. In this community alone, there's so much help, and there's so many people willing to help you if you know where to look. With these small grants and the funding that they have today, it allows not only you to build your foundation for your recovery, but for your life. It helps you set up and get further along in your goals, which my goal is to help the next recovering addict, to help pull somebody off the streets, to help them give them a better life than what they don't think they deserve. Before coming to Epoch Sober Living, I couldn't muster together more than 2 or 3 days without trying to figure out where I was going to get the next one. Now, since being out here, I've accomplished a few small goals of mine, and that has helped me tremendously with the furthest goal, and that's to stay clean the rest of my life. And without Epoch Sober Living, that wouldn't be happening.
Hi, my name is Kimberly, and I just wanted to come on here and show my support and also recognize Keaton House and Epoch Sober Living. Their Epoch Sober Living House is in Abingdon. Their sober living home provides a supportive and safe community environment where individuals can connect with others who are also in recovery. I feel like that sense of community is crucial in helping individuals maintain sobriety. I also want to recognize that they assist with individuals who need help looking for a job, maintaining their job, whether it be, needing assistance and some funding to get their driver's license back, whether it be some funding with assistance in getting job training or getting a car or keeping car insurance. All of those things play a role in getting someone back on their feet who have struggled with addiction, and they help with it all, and they are nothing but supportive of their community. Obviously, especially the ones that are just starting recovery and need to get back on their feet. So again, I just want to show my support and recognition of Keaton House and Epoch Sober Living. Thank you.
I'm now joined with Dylan Short. He is a client in recovery, and he's here to tell me about his experience with Epoch and also how he has made his recovery possible. Dylan, thanks so much for being with us.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Dylan, would you mind telling me about your recovery, your struggles? How are you doing today?
Well, it certainly wasn't an easy road, and I'm very proud of how far I've come on this journey. I just wouldn't trade the life I have today for the old life I used to have, not for anything in the world, Going from, being isolated and, struggling, holding jobs, employment, constantly changing my living situation. It was a nightmare, and today, I get to be sober and because music's my thing. So I play in a band and I get to do that sober today. And, the Pineapple Band, we play a bunch of clubs and bars, all over. And I'm also a school teacher now. I teach the drums. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, that's just working with kids is something I could never have imagined doing, So it's really great, and I'm blessed, I really am, so.
Obviously, you're here today to support Epoch Sober Living Services. Why do you support them? Why do you think that they are so beneficial to Harford County?
It just, being an alcoholic and drug addict, right, in recovery, I really know what it's like with that struggle on that road to recovery. It's not easy, and it's very hard, and just a company like Epoch, they kind of help out, I consider them fellow brothers and sisters, and they help addicts all over try and get a fresh new start, and what they do is crucial because a lot of people don't have family and they don't have loved ones to help them out, and trying to start from scratch can be terrifying, even not starting from scratch is pretty terrifying when you don't know how to live, so.
Oh, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest things we're hearing is that there's small things that make it more difficult to succeed on the road to permanent employment. So sometimes staying positive and sober is hard to do. So how does Epoch help with that?
Well, so they provide small grants and funding for housing and, just opportunities. For example, if you're trying to get back on the road, get your license reinstated, anything like that, you can apply for grants, funding, and they'll help you out with that. All of my friends, it's kind of rare if they don't have a record. So finding employment can be hard, but they have job searches. They can help with all of the stuff that you need, to start brand new. They can help you with all those services.
And what made you decide, I want to tell other people about my recovery?
I mean, for two reasons, I would say, just to anyone else who's struggling, you're not alone, and you can live a life that's just, beyond your wildest dreams. I must say that, like, I didn't believe in it, when I first got here, and like I said, I wouldn't trade it for the world, the life I have today. And for two, just to inform people that there is help. I totally believe in Epoch services, and they really help the struggling addict and alcoholic. And we need more services like that, because it's hard to do it alone. And like I said, they're not alone. So,
Well, somebody that's maybe, just realizes, oh boy, I have a problem. What would you tell them?
I'll tell them to be open, with themselves, willing and honest, to just be open to new suggestions, and don't try and do it alone. We have a disease that centers in the brain that says that we don't have a disease. So you can't trust your own thinking. So, reach out for help, take the suggestions of other people who've been through they've already been on this road to recovery, because, I know I had to take those suggestions to people who knew better than I did. And I would just say, it can happen. It can happen for you. I didn't believe it. I didn't even want it to work, and it did work, So it's one of those things where, thank God for places like Epoch and, that provide the funding, grants, and just help, an addict or alcoholic get on their feet, because it's not easy. It's not an easy journey, but it's definitely worth it.
Dylan, thank you again so much. So proud of you, and just keep going forward, keep thriving.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
Epoch Sober Living Services has helped so many people, and now these people are in recovery and living wonderful, fulfilling lives. You can live a life free from addiction. If you would like more information on their services, you'd like to volunteer, donate, the information is listed on the screen. They can help you get back on your feet and start a new life. I'm Christy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.